So a very warm good evening to all of you on another very amazing session on Shiksha. I'm Bhagyashree, your moderator for this session today. And of course, we know the topic for today's session is all about exam day tips for NEET 2022 Physics. And of course, today for this session, we have an expert faculty from Infinity Learn, Vibhati Jain, is here with us. She is there to guide you for the next 60 minutes, answer all your queries, all your doubts, and make sure that we both will make sure that you are prepared and confident enough to sit for the exam coming from 17th of July. Of course, I know all of you are prepared, but that kind of last moment of confidence that a teacher can give you, I think that will really, really help you, right? And if there any confusion, this session is all about that. Just go ahead and clear all your sessions. So firstly, Vibhati, thank you so very much for being part on Shiksha's webinar, and you're here to guide all the students. So what would you like to say to them?
First of all, thank you so much, Bhagyashree, for this warm welcome. And I'd like to extend my thanks to Shiksha and Infinity Learn for giving me this opportunity to guide my students for NEET 2022 paper. So thank you so much, everyone. And hi, guys. Good evening, everyone. I hope you guys are excited for today's session, because today I'll be answering your questions regarding physics preparation. I know this physics subject can be scary, right? So just shoot your questions right away, and I'll try to answer all of them.
Absolutely. I while I was doing some few sessions that we did for NEET previously, and we connected with a lot of different faculties and a lot of different, teachers were here. And there were a lot of practical sessions that we did, and they were really happy doing that, and they had their all sorts of queries, and I think we did try the best we can and answer them. And I think we had a lot of sessions with Infinity Learn previously, and they really enjoy those sessions with us with Infinity Learn. So yes, I'm sure the session will be very, very useful to them, before they sit for the exam. Okay. All right, can we start with your queries? Okay, Khushi has just dropped in a question about the highest weighted chapters. Yes, I'm sure you would want to know that. Vibhati, all up to you now.
Okay. So, hi Khushi, I hope you are doing really well. And I know this is the most common question among all the students. What are the highest weightage chapters, right? In last 10 days, what is the portion that we need to focus on more, right? So, but physics is divided into different parts like mechanics. Then we have oscillation and waves. And for 12th portion, first part is electrodynamics. And after that, we have optics. Then we have this modern physics portion, right? So if you go unit wise, just target 12th portion first, right? So like modern physics. So in modern physics, you can expect at least 7 to 8 questions in a paper. So that is too much, right? 7 to 8 questions is around 32 marks. So go for modern physics first, because some of the chapters are really easy. There is one chapter, semiconductor. So you can expect at least 3 questions from this chapter. And most of the chapter is theoretical. So it will take hardly 4 to 5 hours to master that chapter. So just go for semiconductor first, and then entire modern physics part. After that, you can target mechanics. Mechanics is very huge portion, but yeah, in that laws of motion, work power, energy, and rotational motion, these 3 units are very important. Okay, so yeah, if you can master these 3 chapters, your mechanics is in your control. And after that, we have heat and thermodynamics. So most of the part of the heat and thermodynamics is covered in chemistry also, right? So this small difference of sign convention. So I think if you are comfortable in thermodynamics in your chemistry portion, I think you'll be comfortable here also, right? So you can target these areas for improving your NEET score in physics.
Right. So I think Khushi, that answers your query, right? Okay. Sneha is saying, ma'am, with these 10 days, how to do with physics? Okay, that's a good question. I knew this would come up. Yes.
Yeah. So this 10 days are really, really precious. I can understand the amount of stress that you guys are having right now. So I can relate with you guys, because we all are following the same journey. I used to prepare for something, and then just before 1 month, before the exam, I used to like get this cold feet. Okay, I don't know anything. I don't know anything. I want to give up and everything. So I can understand your situation, beta. The problem is कि in last 10 days we think कि जो weak portion है, let's try to focus on that portion more, because this is basic human nature, right? So if there are 10 people and you like 9 people in a room and you don't like that one person, so your entire focus will be on that one person instead of those 9 people, right? So this is basic human nature. If there are 30 chapters in physics and you know only 28 chapters and you are not confident enough in next remaining 2 chapters, so your entire focus on those 2 chapters, this is very common and it happens with everyone, right? But यहाँ पे last 10 days are not for those 2 chapters जिसमें हमें confidence नहीं है, right? Last 10 days का जो preparation strategy होना चाहिए, that should be test led. मतलब you must be giving mock test, right? Mock test में there are certain questions you might be getting right. There are certain questions जहाँ पे you'll be making certain silly mistakes or calculation mistake, and certain questions जहाँ पे you don't remember the formula, right? Because NEET में most of the questions are formula based. If you can remember formula, you can directly solve those questions. Okay, so just do the analysis of your mock test, then identify loopholes. Ki, okay, this is the portion where I'm making this mistake again and again and again, right? So target those portions only. After doing the analysis, do a proper revision of that concept jahan pe you are making mistake, right? So I think last 10 days mein, if you are doing this, definitely aapka jo score hai, that will go up, right? So don't think about weak areas, just focus on strong areas now, guys. Strong ko or stronger banao, so that if you are getting let's say 120 marks in physics, you will get 130 or 135 marks in physics in NEET 2022.
Right, absolutely. Okay. Okay, I could see a lot of queries coming in. Okay, I'll try and take all of your like one by one. Okay, ma'am, my query is how to schedule physics timetable in these last 10 days. Okay, that is like a kind of revision timetable that they can follow for this last 10 days.
Yeah. So yeah, this is something, relative. Matlab for every student, timetable is different because it depends on the student ki, how fast that student is in doing calculation, or how fast that student is in attempting multiple questions and everything. But yeah, I'll try to answer this thing in general form. So the thing is ki we are in the last 10 days of NEET. Okay, so most of the time you should spend in doing mock test. After mock test, again, if you have some time, you might be maintaining those short notes or formula books or something like that, right? So just go through your short notes, beta, because short notes अब आपके काम आएंगे, right? Throughout the session, when we say कि maintain your short notes वाला book, formula book अलग से maintain करो. So this is the time to look at those short notes. Short notes को revise करो. If you feel कि this is the formula जो मैं हर बार भूल जाता हूँ या भूल जाती हूँ, और इस पे बेस्ड कोई भी क्वेश्चन आता है तो आई जस्ट गेट नर्वस कि ओके प्लस है या माइनस है, इनटू है या डिवाइड है, आई डोंट नो, आई डोंट रिमेम्बर इट, राइट? So try to revise those things first. Just go through your short notes, and I think if you want to start your revision now, if you think 10 days are sufficient for your revision, so just start with the 12th portion first. Do all the electrodynamics chapter, that is your NCERT part 1 from 12th portion. Then revise all these modern physics and optics formulas, especially do revise all the formulas from optics, because I know it is a huge chapter, but you will get at least 2 to 3 questions from optics, and that too direct questions, direct formula based questions. And after that, if you have sufficient time, go for mechanics portion, then heat and thermodynamics, and if time permits, then you can go for waves, oscillation, then there's one more chapter, mechanical properties of solids and fluids. So please do that. And guys, there are 2 or 3 chapters in physics like unit and dimension. Then we have electric electromagnetic waves, right? So unit and dimension is very, very easy chapter, and you will be getting at least one question from that chapter. So yeah, please do that. एकदम clear हो जाना चाहिए. Do not keep any doubt in your mind कि ये जो कॉन्सेप्ट है इसको कैसे करना है. प्लीज मेक योर कॉन्सेप्ट क्लियर फ्रॉम यूनिट एंड डिमेंशन and electromagnetic wave theoretical chapter, but yes, you can get at least one or two questions from that chapter also. Very small chapter, theoretical chapter, so you can target these kinds of chapter first if you want to improve your score.
Right, so I think that should help you out. Okay, Shivani, I think just now we answered like what you should do in the last 10 days. So just relax and go through your, like whatever you have studied. That's what ma'am has just said. So don't need to stress out so much, right? Okay. Praneeth is saying, which are the easy chapters that I can complete in 10 days? Praneeth, are you talking about revising those chapters, or you want to prepare like the easy chapters? So Vibhati, I think they are into the mode like there are certain things that are left out and they just want to complete in the last 10 days. So ma'am, what would you suggest to Praneeth for this?
Hi Praneeth. Okay, so you want to start your preparation now, right? So I would suggest give it a just go through your NCERT once. Okay, read everything. Try to decode NCERT and try to do some exercise questions from NCERT only, because you can see that if you pick up some previous year question papers, there are certain questions that are directly from NCERT exercise or NCERT exemplar. Okay, they directly ask some definitions that are written in NCERT, direct word for word. You don't have to change anything, you don't have to think anything about this that thing, right? So just go through NCERT once, and after that attempt all the PYQs of those chapters in which you have complete confidence. At least last 10 years ki PYQs are very important, right? So if I talk in your language, postmortem कर दो, है ना? Future doctors हो आप, right? So इससे आपको ज्यादा अच्छे से फील आएगा कि हर क्वेश्चन को एक अलग नजरिए से देखो, right? कि if this option is correct, then why not rest 3 are correct? Why rest 3 options are incorrect? अगर आपने लास्ट 10 इयर्स क्वेश्चन के साथ ये सेम मेथड फॉलो किया, तो यू गेट द आइडिया कि what is the pattern of the NEET, what are the types of question in the NEET paper. ठीक है? So you get the idea about the upcoming NEET paper also. Once you will be in NEET examination hall on 17th of July, you will feel कि अरे ये पेपर तो मेरा देखा हुआ है, because NEET exam में क्वेश्चन के साथ कॉन्सेप्ट बहुत फ्रीक्वेंटली रिपीट होते हैं. If you look at the concept and questions of the NEET paper, you can see that there is a repetition, there is a particular pattern. So try to target those patterns. And if you don't have sufficient time to complete all the syllabus, no worries, beta. Modern physics, thermodynamics, then your mechanics में भी especially work power energy, motion in a straight line, then laws of motion and rotational motion. And after that, thermodynamics, right? So this is sufficient, and make sure कि ये जो portion आप करते हो, इसमें से you need to focus on accuracy also. So if you are completing 70% of the syllabus, make sure that you are doing at least 90% of the question from that syllabus, right? Okay, so focus on your speed as well as accuracy also.
So I think that was very well answered by ma'am, and I think all of you should just make a note of whatever she's saying throughout the session and keep those points very, very handy and in your mind, right? I think that would help more than anything. Okay. Okay, so how to remember formulas? This question is coming from Shivani. Okay, again, I know this would be something that they will know, that how to keep the formulas handy and in the mind, that so that I don't miss out on anything. Ma'am, what would you say?
Shivani, I can understand your pain. I used to ask the same question to my teachers also, कि have to remember formulas, especially like in optics and in modern physics and in rotational motion. We have lots and lots of formulas, right? And almost all the formulas are similar to one another. So there is a lot of confusion sometimes कि कौन सा use कहाँ पे करना है, right? So first of all, in order to remember all these things, your concept should be clear, right? Because application of the formula is the second portion, but first step to solve any numerical is to identify the concept used in the question, right? So again, concept clarity is very important. Once you know your concept very well, make a formula book. Okay. If you're attending classes, if you're attending all of your classes, after classes, you might be getting some notes, right? So, from that notes, you can mark all the important formulas and maintain a formula book. So, make a habit of this thing. Ki once you get up in the morning, just revise all the formulas before coming to the next session. That is what my students do over here, right? So they maintain all the formula books. Session में आने से पहले last कुछ भी हुआ वो पूरा formulas they revise everything. So in that way you'll be able to remember all these things, because we have lots of formulas in physics, so it is not easy to remember all the formulas in one day, right? So try to if you want to remember one formula, what you can do is you can pick any book you want for the practice, and practice at least 10 questions related to that formula. If I want to remember what is b is equals to u plus at, मुझे नहीं याद रहता. So what I'll do is I'll try to revise that formula again and again and again. But again, if I'm not able to remember that thing, what I'll do is I'll go to my teacher and I'll say, ma'am, please give me at least 10 questions of this particular formula so that I can apply this formula 10 times in a question. And once you write it, beta, एक बार आप जब लिखते हो ना तो यहाँ पे डबल इंप्रेशन जाता है, right? So once you write it, आप कभी भी नहीं भूलोगे उसको. So please make a practice of this thing कि every morning revise करना है. If it is not possible to remember all these things, practice at least 10 questions related to that formula and you'll never forget it.
Absolutely. Okay. Sagar is saying, ma'am, how to solve numericals quickly? As in, what tips and tricks can they use for numericals?
Okay, for numericals, right? So, yeah, I know बहुत सारे students they come and ask, ma'am, please give us some shortcut. This method is very long, but with shortcuts always come with conditions, right? If I want to apply this shortcut, this should be the condition. If the question is satisfying that particular condition, then you can apply shortcut. But hota kya hai, most of the time, 99% of the time, we forget that condition. We just remember the shortcut, right? And what we do is, फटाफट में एकदम excitement से कि yuhu, I'm doing this question in 5 seconds. So what we do is कि फटाफट से we mark wrong answer and we get -1, right? So according to me, there is no shortcut for anything. If you have concept clarity, and if you know how to apply that concept in a particular question, आपका numerical बहुत easily fast तरीके से हो जाएगा. It's all about practice and repetition is the key. Okay, so if you want to do your numerical in less time, and if you want to do your numerical correct, so first thing is, this is what I do. I read that question with a pencil. I use one pencil. I mark the entire question. When I read it, I underline that question. And I circle those values which are given in the question. For example, if I want to use, let's say, F is equals to MA. Okay, so if I'm reading that particular question, I'll mark the numerical value given in the question. What is the force? Okay, it is 50 Newton. What is the mass of the particle? Okay, it is 10 kilogram. Then I'll think here, ki, acha, force, mass is given and acceleration batana hai. So what is the relation between these three physical quantities, right? then I'll try to think कि अच्छा ये formula लगेगा, F is equals to ma, right? So try to write all the information given in the question just below the question. जब आप सारी information को एक साथ देखोगे, you'll realize कि okay, इन सारी information को relate करने वाला there's only one formula. Just apply that formula now, you'll get your correct answer. Okay, so don't think much. I know कि physics में when it comes to numerical, तो हमारे लिए it becomes difficult because uh, you know physics. I've seen this thing in my students कि physics को पढ़ने से पहले ही most of the students they give up. Why? Because बचपन में we used to hear this story कि okay, don't go there. मतलब our grandparents they used to say this thing to us कि don't go there. That house is haunted. पर क्या किसी ने भूत देखा? नहीं, राइट? सो सेम थिंग इज हैपनिंग विथ यू. आपके सीनियर, आप आसपास के एनवायरनमेंट से ये पिकअप कर लेते हो कि फिजिक्स पे टाइम वेस्ट क्यों करना है, फिजिक्स इज डिफिकल्ट, बट इट इज नॉट एक्चुअली. फिजिक्स इज वेरी प्रैक्टिकल सब्जेक्ट. आप पूरे एनवायरनमेंट में कितनी बार कितनी चीजों को ऑब्जर्व करते हो, बस उसको फिजिक्स के पॉइंट ऑफ व्यू से ऑब्जर्व करना सीख लो बेटा. फिजिक्स एक सब्जेक्ट नहीं है, फील है, इसको फील करना सीखो, राइट? तो अगेन बच्चों, फिजिक्स इज नॉट हॉन्टेड. फिजिक्स में जो सबसे बड़ा डर होता है दैट इज यूज ऑफ मैथ्स. बट गाइस, 10th आपने पास की है, मतलब यू नो मैथ्स. जितना यू स्टडी इन 10th up to 10th standard, that is required in physics. And apart from that, there are certain things like differentiation, integration, right? And trigonometry, some extra theorems of trigonometry. So physics का portion हम physics से कभी भी start नहीं करते. We start with the basic mathematics, right? तो जितनी भी help आपको यहाँ पे चाहिए होती है, that is all given to you already. You know everything what is required in physics to solve numerical. So don't keep this thing in your mind कि मुझे मैंने मैथ्स नहीं पढ़ा तो मुझसे फिजिक्स नहीं बनेगा. No, it is not like that. You already know everything, right? So just don't think much. जितना आता है, trust yourself कि इतना तो मुझे आता है, इतना ही चाहिए. Apply everything that you know.
Right. I think all of them have this very similar problem of Sachin. I think numerical, you asked about numerical. I think just now Mama's answered about numerical. So just go through the video, okay? And about formula, Mugesh, you've also asked the same thing about formula. Shivani is also saying cannot remember formula. So I think this entire thing that ma'am has described now, like what should you do to remember formulas? So these are the things that you have to do. So don't worry and just follow whatever she has advised, right? Sachin, I think you've also asked about how to revise formulas. So just now ma'am has answered that. Okay, just go through all these. Okay, Janvi Singh, ma'am, questions solve ही नहीं होते हैं. So I think Janvi, you're preparing for 2023 also, will come to you. But I think this entire session is dedicated to these problems that you are facing. You know, you can't solve questions, you're not able to solve numericals. So all these things will be here. We will definitely discuss more and more on this. Okay. What about, okay, Logesh is saying whether we want to practice all previous year question paper or 10 years is enough. Ma'am, if you would like to suggest that.
I think for now, 10 years is more than enough. If you have sufficient time to target all the questions, start from 2011 to 2021. सारे क्वेश्चंस का पैटर्न देखो, समझो कि what are the concepts जो कि बार बार रिपीट हो रहे हैं in NEET exam, because you know there are certain topics which are very favorite topics of the paper, the people who are making paper, right? So there is a repetition. There are certain topics in physics, in maths, in chemistry, in biology, right? जो सबको पसंद आता है. Okay, so उन टॉपिक से क्वेश्चन आता ही आता है, तो try to observe that pattern. And if you think कि 2011 to 2021 is too much for me, you can start from 2016 to 2021. It's up to you. Just look at your timetable. If you have sufficient time, go for 11 to 21, otherwise 16 to 21.
Right. So all of you who are asking about like how many years of papers should we like go back? So I think ma'am has just answered that. right? Okay. Let's come to some more queries. Okay, I have skipped mechanics part. So what would be my score as in your mock test score? Okay, this question is from Vedha.
Vedha, okay, I can understand why you are skipping this mechanics part, right? So in mechanics, from mechanics you can expect at least 12 questions, beta. So yeah, 12 into 4, that is 48. So 180 minus 48 will be your score if you are attempting rest of the portion correctly, right? So if you have sufficient time, just do unit and dimension, and this chapter, laws of motion and work energy power. If you have sufficient time, please do these 3 chapters. So I think these 3 chapters will cover at least 5 questions. So out of 12 questions, you'll be able to do 5 questions.
Okay. All right. How much marks is sufficient for physics out of 180? Okay.
Okay, out of 180, how much marks are sufficient? I would say 180, but बहुत ज़्यादा हो जाएगा for students, right? I think you should target 120 plus if you want to get into any decent medical college. Please make sure that you are getting 120 plus.
Okay, so some of you who had the similar question, I think you got your answer. Okay. Okay, let me come to some more questions. Sameer is saying, ma'am, I was practicing well, but when I do mock test of physics, I am not able to get good score because mostly questions are confusing. What should I do?
Okay, mostly questions are confusing, right? So there are 2 possibilities from here. कि either you have this fear of physics कि physics है ठीक है थोड़ा सा ऐसा ही जाएगा पेपर, or the practice that you did is not sufficient, because we get this confusion if we are not clear about the formula that is being used in the question, right? So if you have fear of physics, first option, then just forget it, beta. You know, you are doing really well in chemistry and biology. That means there is nothing wrong. You can understand each and everything. So you'll be able to understand physics also, right? If you can do chemistry and biology, that means your understanding is good. Understanding of the concept is good, and application of the concept in the question is good. It's all about your fear that is blocking you from, applying all these formulas and concepts in the physics, right? So don't think much. Just put your all of your energy in that place where you are sitting for mock test. पूरी एनर्जी लगा दो कि ओके दिस इज माय प्लेस, एंड इस प्लेस में दिस इज माय रीजन, इस प्लेस में आई हैव नो फियर, आई डोंट फियर एनीथिंग, बस जो भी होगा अच्छा होगा. रिपीट दिस थिंग मल्टीपल टाइम्स इन हियर कि आई नो एवरीथिंग एंड आई अप्लाई एवरीथिंग. ओके. Second thing, if you feel that there's some lack of practice, so what you can do is, again, PYQ is the best solution of everything as of now for last 10 days. If you think okay, this concept is not that much clear to me, just do the PYQ of that particular concept, because I think nowadays you can find PYQs concept wise also. Okay, for example, I'm not able to apply Gauss's law, then just go for the PYQs of Gauss's law. You don't have to solve all the PYQs of electrostatics, right? So please identify your problem, because only you can tell this thing. And you can tell this thing कि this is problem number 1 or problem number 2. Fear है या फिर lack of practice है. Once you identify it, just work on it and believe in yourself. Okay, don't listen to anyone. Keep positive environment around you.
I totally agree to that, because I see another question which relates to exam stress. Gunal Mutha, okay, she's saying that how to handle exam pressure, like avoid forgetting things in exam hall, like on the exam day, what should they do?
Okay, so beta, I think this is the right time to, work on that problem, exam pressure, exam anxiety, because we have put 10 days to go, right? And I think exam timing is from 2, and you might be attempting mock test. So you can do one thing कि कल से ही, आज तो 2 PM निकल चुका है, but कल से you can attempt all of your mock test between 2 to 5:20. 5:20, you'll be getting some extra 20 minutes from this year, right? So 2 to 5:20 में सारे question paper attempt करो. Make your situation very uncomfortable around you. कि एक comfortable chair पे नहीं बैठना है, because you never know आपका एग्जाम सेंटर क्या होगा, उसकी सिचुएशन क्या होगी, व्हाट इज द टाइप ऑफ चेयर दैट यू विल बी गेटिंग देयर. स्विच ऑफ फैन, स्विच ऑफ एसी, एवरीथिंग, ठीक है, एंड ओपन ऑल द विंडोज. आने दो जितना नॉइस बाहर से आता है, लेट इट कम. ओके, so make your situation uncomfortable around you and then try to attempt all the questions of the paper. ठीक है, once you do this for 10 days, 11th day पे when we will be attempting NEET paper, it'll be like this is nothing, I've seen worse, right? So this is nothing for me. Okay, so in that situation you'll be able to focus more. हम जब एग्जाम स्ट्रेस या एंजाइटी किसी भी चीज की नॉट रिलेटेड टू एग्जाम, वो तब आती है when we go out of our comfort zone, and exam day पे you'll be out of your comfort zone, right? So you'll be feeling all these kinds of things ki what if I forget this thing, what if मैं पेंसिल एक्स्ट्रा लेना भूल गई, what if ये हो गया, मेरे पास में जो बैठा हुआ है, जो स्टूडेंट्स है, उसको कुछ जोर जोर से लिखने की आदत है या कुछ भी है, anything can happen, right? So try to give at least 10 mock tests from 2 to 5:20, and after that do the analysis. एंड भूलने की जो बात आती है बेटा, तो जहां जहां पे आपको लगता है, बिकॉज आई थिंक कि 100% ऑफ द फिजिक्स यू विल नॉट फॉरगेट देयर, राइट? There are certain points like 70% पे you'll be confident, 30% पे you will feel कि okay इसमें से मैं भूल सकती हूँ. So just revise those points again and again and again in last 3 days. In last 3 days उन्हीं points को revise करो जहां पे आपको लगता है कि मैं भूल सकती हूँ, right? So please do that, and आपका जो नीट का पेपर होगा, आई एम श्योर बहुत अच्छा होगा if you follow these things.
Absolutely. Thank you, ma'am, for that answer. Okay. Coming to some of your other questions. Okay. Kanishk, I think we have discussed about like the schedule that you can make. Okay. Sameer is saying that I'll be preparing from Arihant books. In that, having many exam questions. So it will include also NEET PYQs. So is it like helpful for them if they are doing that?
Yeah, if you are doing PYQs, that is really good. But apart from PYQs, if you can do some more questions, that will be also helpful to you. But make sure you are doing those questions only in which you have confidence. Like for example, I don't know what is I'm not confident about gravitation, है ना? So don't do the practice for gravitation chapter, because उससे क्या होगा, confidence lose हो जाएगा. Okay, हमें अब उन टॉपिक्स को टच नहीं करना है जहां पे हमें कॉन्फिडेंस नहीं है या पूरे साल हमने नहीं पढ़ा, राइट? सो इफ यू हैव टाइम, प्रैक्टिस दोस टॉपिक्स जहां पे यू हैव मोर कॉन्फिडेंस, राइट? दिस विल इंक्रीज योर चांसेस ऑफ गेटिंग +4. if you are practicing those topics jahan pe you don't have any confidence, so this will increase your chances of getting -1. so make sure you are practicing from those topics jahan pe aapko lagta hai ki isme se question aaya to +4 to mera pakka hoga, right? So yeah, practice is very good. Physics mein practice ke liye no one will tell you no.
Right. Okay. I could see some topic related questions. For example, one of them have just asked here about kinematics, like it's a bit of hard. So how they can concentrate for that. This is from Uppaluri Sarvani. Okay. He is asking about kinematics.
Okay, kinematics. So I can understand this thing because sometimes what happens is we start kinematics after basic mathematics, and students are they are doing this transition from 10th to 11th. So from for up to 10th, everything is easy. Like physics is easy. You have just certain formulas. You have to apply those formulas directly in the numerical. Now in 11th, when you move from 10 to 11, everything becomes about the everything is about application of the concept, right? So I can understand your fear, beta. And kinematics is the first chapter where you will study the real physics. So sometimes it becomes difficult for the students to, adjust himself or herself up to that level. So you're not alone in this thing. I think most of the students, they feel the same thing about this chapter. So if you have time and if you want to study this topic, kinematics, so I would suggest कि बेटा just go for motion under gravity. Because if you look at the last few years questions, most of the questions are from motion under gravity, right? So just remember your three equations: v is equals to u plus at, s is equals to ug plus half at square, and v square is equals to u square plus 2as. And also remember the sign convention, when to take acceleration positive and when to take acceleration negative, right? In the case of accelerated motion, we put it with positive sign, and in the case of retarded motion, we put it with negative sign. Just remember this few things and practice PYQs of motion under gravity. Once you do this thing, I think you'll gain some confidence in kinematics, right? But again, if you are not confident enough to do it, don't. My suggestion is ki don't touch this chapter. Instead of that, if you are very good at laws of motion, just practice few more questions from laws of motion. That will be helpful to you.
Right. Okay. Simple harmonic motion, also weightage of magnetism, AC, EM waves. Okay, EMI, oscillation, and waves. So they are asking about all these topics.
Okay. So first of all, beta, if you are asking about the weightage, so go for the 12th chapter first. Those chapters which are in 12th class, go for those chapters first, like magnetism, AC, AMI, and quite easy as compared to, of course, mechanics. And the weightage of this portion is more as compared to 11th ka portion, like SHM. Okay, you will get at least one question from SHM, but once you do magnetism, you will be getting at least two questions from magnetism. EMI one question, AC one question, optics at least 2 to 3 questions. So go for 12th portion first, and after that, if you have sufficient time, come back to the 11th portion in the SHM. And in SHM also, you don't have to go into that deep, right? You don't have to understand each and everything. We don't want to do PhD. We just want to secure our +4 marks. ठीक है? तो उसमें क्या करो? SHM के सारे formulas याद रख लो. If particle is starting from mean position, what is the equation of the SHM? The particle is starting from extreme position, क्या equation लगेगा? What is the phase difference? है ना? And what is the velocity of particle, acceleration, force on the particle, and energies, kinetic energy, potential energy, and total energy, and relation between all these things, and simple pendulum. If you can do this, formulas yaad rakh loge, so I think you'll be able to get +4 from in SHM.
Right. So I think that gives you an answer. Also, there was a question like, is NCERT enough for them to prepare, or there's some other extra thing that they need to concentrate?
Okay. So for concept, NCERT is, I think, enough for this 10 days. But again, if you can decode NCERT on your own, it is enough. But most of the time, what happens is कि in NCERT, the meaning of one line is equivalent to 4 lines. If you decode this one line of any chapter, आपको एक ही line में 4 चीजें सीखने को मिलती हैं. So if you have that kind of patience, go for the NCERT, because all of the concepts are there in the NCERT, and yeah, you can go for it. But again, if you don't have that much time to decode it, just go through your notes, class notes. That will be more helpful. And again, physics is all about application of the concept. You can learn concept, right? But if you don't learn how to apply those concepts, तो आप numerical नहीं कर पाओगे. So for that, I think the question part is not sufficient in NCERT. Practice part is not sufficient in NCERT. So for that, you can ask your teacher to give, some extra material to you, assignment, like we give our students here. We give our students at least 15 to 20 questions after every session for the practice, right? So you can do this thing. But yeah, if you are dependent on NCERT entirely, so you'll not be able to understand how apply the concept in question, especially in NEET, because in NEET, speed and accuracy both are important. So accuracy, अगर आपको confidence नहीं होगा तो accuracy नहीं आएगा, right? And confidence नहीं होगा तो speed भी नहीं develop होगा while doing question. So physics is all about application and practice. So make sure कि apart from NCERT, you are referring something for practice.
Right. Okay. Fatima says, ma'am, I've scored nearly 135 to 147. But now for past 4 tests, scored only 120. So she is not able to understand, like, why is it happening? I'm sure
Okay.
this is something that a lot of them are facing, because I could see that they're not able to score much in mock tests. So that is one stress that they're going through.
Yes, yes. Nowadays, all of the students are attempting mock test, and I can understand कि in one test if you are scoring really well and another test थोड़ा सा down हो जाता है, तो it can uh, play a huge role in your confidence, right? So Fatima, I would like to know one thing from you कि this mock test, are this full syllabus test or chapter wise that you are attempting right now? If you can answer this thing, so if you can answer this particular thing, I can understand your problem better. Because if it is full syllabus test, so sometimes what happens is कि sometimes paper is easy, sometimes it is tough. It depends on the day. It depends on your luck. कि sometimes you'll be getting easy paper. Because what they do is they balance each and everything. If they are making chemistry paper tough, they'll have to make physics and biology paper easy. So this can happen to everyone, right? So nothing new, beta. कभी कभी डिफिकल्टी लेवल इंक्रीज हो जाता है किसी एक सब्जेक्ट का, सो यू हैव टू बैलेंस इट आउट इन अनदर सब्जेक्ट. दूसरी चीज, इफ दिस इज चैप्टर वाइज टेस्ट, so it might be possible in some chapters you are really well, and in some chapters there are some loopholes that you need to identify. So if this is chapter wise test, to do the analysis. Okay, if you are attempting mock test, like if you are attempting 5 tests in one day, that will not help you. After every test, analysis is very important, because test के बाद mistakes identify करके उन पे work करना is more important, right? So that you'll not repeat those mistakes in NEET exam. ठीक है? So I tell my students 3 things. कि first of all, maintain your short notes, maintain your formula book, and third thing is maintain your mistake book. Out of this 3, mistake book is the precious one. क्यों? क्योंकि यहाँ पे आपको पता चलेगा व्हाट इज योर पैटर्न, आप कहाँ पे मिस्टेक्स करते हो, उस पैटर्न को ब्रेक करना जरूरी है. So in last 3 days, where you are getting 120 marks, beta go to that paper again and just mark those questions जो unattempted है, जो गलत है, and identify the pattern. सिली मिस्टेक है, फॉर्मूला भूल गई, या कॉन्सेप्ट में उतना कॉन्फिडेंस नहीं है. सिली मिस्टेक है, you can work on your silly mistakes. फॉर्मूला भूल गई, you can remember your formula. But if concept में confidence नहीं है, तो just go to that concept and revise that particular concept only. Okay, so please do this thing, and I'm sure that from next mock test you'll be getting again 160, 170 marks.
Absolutely. Ankita, do not be scared. I think we just discussed like a few minutes back about your exam stress, and ma'am has suggested some very easy ways. So just go back to this video once it's uploaded and, just listen whatever she has said. Okay. Do not stress. That is what we are trying to, point out in all the answers, every time. Do not stress. Okay. Okay. All right. Coming to another question. I am from Maharashtra and I do practice from state board books. Is it helpful for me? Okay, this is from Samir. The question is from Samir.
Okay. Hello, Sameer. So you are practicing from state board books, right? So again, it's all about NEET exam and the exam paper. Okay, if you look at the NEET paper, the most of the questions out of 50 questions, around 40 questions are based on direct formula, direct definition. So it's not about only Maharashtra board. If you are from Rajasthan board, if you are from any other board like Bihar board or anything, the concept is same in all the books. The formulas are same, right? And the definitions are same. So if you're scared कि मैंने कोई fancy सी book practice नहीं की है तो हो सकता है कि मेरे marks अच्छे ना आए. So don't think it like that. Just remember, concept कभी change नहीं हो सकता. Gravity यहाँ पे भी लगती है, यहाँ पे भी लगती है, right? So that is महाराष्ट्र में भी gravity लगेगी, बिहार में भी लगेगी, राजस्थान में भी gravity वही लगेगी, ठीक है? So concept same है, definition same है, formula same है. And if you are confident about applying those concepts in the question, तो आपको NEET में अच्छा स्कोर करने से कोई भी नहीं रोक सकता, right? So don't think much, बस लगे रहो. बस एक चीज याद रखना कि मैंने ईमानदारी से मेहनत की है तो मेरा रिजल्ट अच्छा आएगा. Okay?
Absolutely. Okay, I think Fatima has answered, ma'am. She said that full syllabus. She took the test.
Full syllabus. Okay, so please do the analysis, beta, because analysis is very important. Identify your mistake areas once and work on those mistakes areas in next 10 days.
Okay, which chapters are theory based chapters? Okay, Shubha Nityan. I think I saw this question sometime back about theory based chapters, like which are the ones?
So electromagnetic waves, right? So just go through the NCERT of electromagnetic waves, है ना? सब कुछ याद रखना. Definition, frequency range, wavelength range, what is the application of all the waves in electromagnetic spectrum, then energy density जो है formula है, वो सारी चीजें आप याद रखना अच्छे से. NCERT complete कर लो उसकी and practice PYQs of electromagnetic waves. You'll get the idea कि okay, this chapter is theoretical and questions are easy. Apart from that, semiconductor. So again, for semiconductor, go to the NCERT. Pura NCERT पढ़ लो and try to remember each and everything that is written in NCERT for semiconductor. And after semiconductor, there are certain chapters जहाँ पे it is a combination of theory and application of the theory. So those chapters are your atom, nuclei, right? And this one more chapter that is de Broglie wavelength wala jo chapter, dual nature of radiation and matter. Right? So इसमें भी just do the theoretical portion from NCERT and just remember the formula, because from this chapters they cannot twist the concept much, है ना? तो वो क्या करेंगे, सीधा formula based question पूछेंगे या फिर आपसे definition पूछेंगे. So focus on this portions first. And if you go to the 11th portion, heat kinetic theory of gases and thermodynamics portion है. So it is pretty much same in chemistry and physics. तो आपको ज्यादा मेहनत करने की जरूरत नहीं है. Same with modern physics actually. You study modern physics portion in chemistry also. So you don't have to do much work in it. And after that, if you go to unit and dimension, so just remember what is dimension, how to write dimensional formula and everything, and error analysis. तो ये कुछ 5-6 chapters ऐसे हैं जिसमें ज्यादा efforts आपको नहीं डालने, but you'll get very good marks out of this 5 to 6 chapters.
Right. Okay. Hate mystery. Okay. Ma'am, how to solve questions from center of mass and rotational motion?
Okay, center of mass and rotational motion. सबका डर यहाँ पे निकल जाता है कि okay, center of mass आ रहा है, right? So बेटा देखो, center of mass से एक चीज change होती है, that is the nature of the object that we are using. Before center of mass, we deal with the particle, point object. फिर center of mass जैसे आता है, हम rigid body को use करते हैं, ठीक है? तो the only difference is कि rigid body को भी हम center of mass पे लाके rigid body को हम concentrated assume करते हैं at the center of mass पे to make it a particle object, है ना? And and you know before center of mass, if you are comfortable in physics, so you know how to apply all these concepts for a particle point object. ठीक है, तो सेंटर ऑफ मास में सिर्फ इतना ही डिफरेंस है कि इंस्टेड ऑफ पॉइंट ऑब्जेक्ट वी आर डीलिंग विद रिजिड बॉडी. फाइन. सो अगेन सेंटर ऑफ मास रोटेशनल में पूरा मैकेनिक्स रिवाइज होता है, राइट? सो if you want to do good in center of mass, please practice those questions in which you'll have to find center of mass of the body. एक बार you know how to find center of mass of the body, you can apply this concept in the entire chapter. When it comes to rotational motion, almost in every formula you'll be needing moment of inertia, and moment of inertia, you cannot remember each and every formula, right? So for that we have two theorems, parallel axis theorem and perpendicular axis theorem for rigid bodies. So make sure कि basic formulas you remember, and after that you remember the application of parallel axis theorem and perpendicular axis theorem. Once you learn how to find moment of inertia of any body, आपके लिए rotational motion will be easy. But again बेटा formulas अच्छे से याद रख लेना, especially moment of inertia, then rolling motion on an inclined plane, and after that you can also do this thing, the dynamics of rotational motion, जहां पे आपको laws of motion, work power, energy की जरूरत वापस पड़ेगी. So please practice these questions from PYQs, and I think you'll do very good when it comes to NEET 2022 paper regarding this chapter.
Right. Thank you, ma'am, for that answer. Oh, okay, I'll quickly you're most welcome, Heath. We are here to help you out with that, and we're just trying to pick up all your questions. Okay. Reach Academy, how many physics lessons studied within? I think we've already answered that. We've already answered about your formula based question. Vishwajit, we have already answered about the maximum weightage. Okay, Shubha Niti saying, ma'am, if I work out 34-year NEET question paper, is it enough?
I think it is more than enough. I'm just saying that 2011 to 2021 is sufficient. So I think last 34 years is more than enough. But again, beta, let's not go for those 80s or 90s question, because those questions were at that time the level of the paper and the types of questions were different than this time. So if you can focus last 20 years, that will be more than sufficient.
Yeah.
So absolutely, let's not waste our time for 80s and 90s question.
Absolutely, absolutely. Okay. Okay, how to do smart work to solve more than 25 problems? Sanjita has this question.
Okay, Sanjita, so for more than 25 questions, you want to target in physics, right? So first of all, if you are attempting one paper, you'll be able to tell me this is my favorite subject, right? I love chemistry, so I'll attempt chemistry paper first. Then I love biology, then I'll go for the biology. Then dedicate your entire time to your third favorite subject over here, that is physics, right? So give this entire remaining portion of the time to the physics. ठीक है? तो उससे क्या होगा कि आपके ऊपर मेंटल प्रेशर नहीं रहेगा कि अरे बायोलॉजी भी तो बाकी है, अभी केमिस्ट्री भी तो बाकी है, राइट? इफ यू फील कि यू आर नॉट वेरी गुड एट फिजिक्स, तो कोई बात नहीं, पहले अपने सारे अच्छे अच्छे सब्जेक्ट्स निपटा लो जिसमें आपको बहुत ज्यादा कॉन्फिडेंस है, फिर लास्ट में आप फिजिक्स पे आओ और जितना टाइम बचा है वो पूरा लगा लो बेटा. तो उससे क्या होगा कि आपका कॉन्फिडेंस लेवल बढ़ेगा, क्योंकि आपने केमिस्ट्री और बायोलॉजी पेपर बहुत अच्छे से अटेम्प्ट किया है, राइट? और उसमें बहुत सारे क्वेश्चंस आपसे हो गए, दैट मींस आपका कॉन्फिडेंस और बढ़ जाएगा. एंड आफ्टर दैट व्हेन यू अटेम्प्ट फिजिक्स में, तो आपको लगेगा ही नहीं कि समथिंग इज डिफिकल्ट, आप कोई डिफिकल्ट चीज करने जा रहे हो, राइट? सो मेक श्योर यू आर फॉलोइंग दिस पैटर्न ड्यूरिंग एग्जाम. पहले जो कॉन्फिडेंट आपको लगता है सब्जेक्ट उसमें जाओ, then second, then third favorite subject, right? I can understand हर student का एक favorite subject होता है, एक least favorite subject होता है. So go for this pattern. So उससे आपका confidence level boost up होगा and you'll be able to do better in physics.
Absolutely. Okay, before we come to last few questions, I am just launching the poll for all of you. And this is a very important poll. This is the feedback poll that you share after the session. So if you have liked this session, was the session useful to you? How likely you will recommend the sessions to all your friends and colleagues? We would love to, have your feedback, and also do suggest what all sessions you would like to see coming ahead in like coming weeks, because we're coming up with CUET webinars, we'll be coming up with NEET, we'll be coming up with a lot of MBA sessions for all of you, like whoever is interested in that. So we are coming up with a lot of sessions. So I think these will be very, very helpful to all of you. And meanwhile, you are filling up the form, I'll quickly pick up last few questions, okay? Before we kind of wrap up. And Kanishk, if you're watching the webinar, just do not be depressed. I have already given you an answer, I've typed for you. Don't be, stressed out, don't panic, don't be depressed, just be confident. Give time to yourself, you'll do well. Please don't stress out, right? I could see all your messages here, you're very, very depressed, you're like scared. Just don't do that, okay? Just relax, do what you like the most, okay? If you like music, just listen to music. Don't stress too much for the exams, I'm sure you'll do well, okay? Please do not stress out, because Vibhati ma'am, every session I think 30% of the questions are from stress, panic, depression. They are very, very scared about facing these competitive national level exams. So every time when we are doing sessions, we always reach out to them and say that, hey, please do not panic. It is the time that you have to score well and you have to move ahead in your career and your life goals. So this is not the time to panic. You have to do well, and I'm sure you all will do well. So please do not get panicked about these exams. These are times which is challenging, I'm sure, because ma'am has this experience of coaching so many students. These are very challenging times, but take this challenge and face it. Yeah,
I would like to add one more
sure,
point
ma'am.
actually. Just remember one thing: when you are getting these thoughts, you are not alone.
Yeah.
You're sitting with 14 to 17 lakh students, right? So you are not alone in this. Okay. So make sure when you are getting this types of thoughts, दिमाग में एक ही चीज लाना है कि मैं अकेला नहीं हूँ. And this is your fight. लड़ना है. There's no going back, right? आपने एक बार ये path choose कर लिया, so there's no going back. तो there are two options. या तो अच्छे से लड़ाई करो या फिर डर डर के लड़ाई करो.
Absolutely.
So why not choose one? And we are here with you, बच्चों. So don't worry.
Yes. So please, Samir, you're most welcome. That's so good to see this feedback, that you feel energetic and you feel confident enough to sit for the exam. Okay, Shannon, most welcome. Logesh, we already have done sessions for biology and chemistry. I know it's not uploaded on YouTube. Don't worry, in a day or two, I will be uploading both the sessions on YouTube. So you will have all the 3 sections on YouTube. Anytime you can just go back to those videos and watch, right? So don't worry, we have already done both the sessions. I think one biology we had with Infinity Learn, and chemistry we had with another faculty, and the physics one we already are doing with Vibhati ma'am, right? So we have all the sessions done and covered. I'll share those video links, okay? Please don't worry, I'll post it on YouTube. Just make sure that you are following us on YouTube so that you don't miss out on any notifications, okay? Okay, so I hope you are filling up the form, you are filling up the session feedback poll. Meanwhile, I'll just take 1 or 2 questions. Okay, how many full mock tests should we take per day? So we'll quickly take your answer from your ma'am.
How many full mock tests? So I would suggest one, or if you have that capacity of sitting for 6 to 7 hours, go for 2. That's it. Because the number of mock tests that you are taking in one day is not important.
Yeah.
It's all about the after test analysis. So make sure if you're attempting only one, you are marking mistakes and you are working on those mistakes. So if you are attempting one mock test, that is sufficient beta as of now, because half of the time you'll have to give your time to the identifying mistakes and working on them, right? So make sure mistakes पे पहले काम करें.
Absolutely. Okay. Ma'am, Fingertips is better book for NEET. Question from Janvi. I think she's preparing for NEET 2023.
Okay. So Janvi, again, देखो, there are multiple books in the market, right? But if you're getting material from your teacher, trust your teacher and trust that material, because जो material teacher आपके लिए बनाते हैं, that is from his or her experience, right? So होता क्या है, बच्चे बहुत सारी बुक्स परचेज कर लेते हैं एंड कुछ क्वेश्चंस यहाँ से किए, कुछ क्वेश्चंस यहाँ से किए और कंफ्यूज हो जाते हैं. सो डोंट डू दैट. इफ यू फील कि नीट के लिए क्या चाहिए, प्रैक्टिस चाहिए, राइट? एंड प्रैक्टिस के साथ हमें स्पीड एंड एक्यूरेसी बिल्ड करना है. सो इफ यू फील कि दिस बुक इज प्रोवाइडिंग इनफ क्वेश्चन फॉर द प्रैक्टिस, सो गो फॉर इट. है ना, कोई भी बुक चलेगी, बट इट शुड हैव सफिशिएंट क्वेश्चंस फॉर प्रैक्टिस. Fine. And make sure that if you're picking one book for practice, just stick with it. After 50 questions, just don't switch the book and everything. Otherwise there will be a lot of confusion और कभी भी आपको confidence नहीं आएगा अपनी preparation में. So कोई भी एक book उठाओ और उसी से practice करते रहो. That is my suggestion.
Absolutely. Okay. I have shared few links like our YouTube channel and our LinkedIn page. Just we are there on Facebook and Instagram also. It's all connected. So just follow us there. So if you have any query or any information that you're missing out, you'll always find it there. And don't worry, I'll be uploading all the sessions very soon in a day or two. So you'll have all the videos there, right? Okay. Does the previous year question gets repeated every year?
Not every year, not like same question. There are certain repetitions of the questions, like same question, but you can expect repetition of the concept. That is why I'm saying this, use postmortem technique on PYQs, because concept will be repeated. So yeah, question I cannot say कि every year there will be some repetition, but concept का repetition बहुत frequent होता है. At least like after every 2-3 years there will be a repetition of the concept. So make sure you understand the concept. Do not mug up the questions.
Okay. Shannon has this quick question. Ma'am, just want to confirm whether the answers in NEET have to be ticked or shaded.
You'll have to fill your OMR, right? So you'll have to fill the bubble.
Yeah. So I think that will help you out, Shannon. So don't worry. A lot of you are preparing NEET, but some of them have mentioned that this time we are scoring below 400 and they are sad about it.
See, if you are scoring below 400, so you cannot improve your score overnight, right? Yeah, कुछ ऐसा कुछ खाया और कल सुबह उठ के scoring 720 on 720, so it is not possible. It is a continuous process. Next your target should be around 450. सीधा आप 720 पे टारगेट करोगे आफ्टर 400, तो वो एक अनरियलिस्टिक टारगेट हो जाता है और उससे कॉन्फिडेंस और गिर जाता है. और हमारे जो इच्छा शक्ति होती है, जो होता है ना कि पेपर अच्छे से अटेम्प्ट करेंगे, वो चीज ना खत्म हो जाती है, हमारा एंथुसियाज्म पूरा खत्म हो जाता है. So set realistic goals for you for the upcoming paper. If you are getting 400 today, no worries. Get 420 or 450 in the next paper. If you are getting 450 tomorrow, set 500 ka target for the next paper and work towards that goal. ठीक है, तो use this technique. It is a continuous process. One step आपको कभी भी one step में आप सोचोगे यहाँ से यहाँ पहुंच जाऊं, तो it is not possible. So work on this thing.
Right. Okay. So before we wind up the session, and you'll be facing NEET in a week, in 10 days, ma'am, your one piece of very, very helpful advice for all the NEET aspirants.
Okay. So I know 10 days हैं, बहुत सारे questions आ रहे हैं मन में कि क्या करे क्या नहीं करे. So just trust yourself and trust those last 2 to 3 years जो आपने इसमें रखे हैं, NEET preparation के लिए dedicate किए हैं. Trust the process. Nothing is in your control. कि आप सोचोगे आज एंजाइटी रखोगे और सोचोगे पता नहीं पेपर कैसा होगा, कल भी नहीं पता चलेगा आपको. You'll not be able to know tomorrow also. NEET पेपर के बाद you'll be able to say कि अच्छा पेपर अच्छा गया बुरा गया. So if something is not in your control, तो why to waste your time on that? That is my point. दूसरी चीज, बच्चों चाहे कुछ भी हो जाए, हमेशा याद रखना कि this is not the end, right? जो भी है अपने स्ट्रेंथ एरियाज पे फोकस करो, उसे और इम्प्रूव करो, दैट्स इट। नेगेटिविटी से दूर रहो, अपनी फैमिली के साथ टाइम स्पेंड करो, एंड मोस्ट इंपॉर्टेंट पार्ट इज कि अपनी हेल्थ पे फोकस करो, बिकॉज दिस इज कोविड टाइम एंड ऑल्सो वी आर इन मॉनसून सीजन, राइट? सो आइसक्रीम खा लेना, गोलगप्पे खा लेना अभी अवॉइड करना थोड़ा, राइट? बिकॉज इट माइट प्ले एन इम्पॉर्टेंट रोल कि आपका एग्जाम से 2 दिन पहले अगर गला खराब हो गया या फिर हेल्थ खराब हो गया, कुछ भी हो सकता है, तो उससे क्या होगा कि आपका कॉन्फिडेंस बिगड़ जाएगा। सो मेक श्योर घर का खाना खाओ, अच्छे से खाओ, और एकदम अच्छे से अपनी नींद कंप्लीट करो। सोचोगे कि आज 2 घंटे एक्स्ट्रा जाग के मैं दो चैप्टर और अच्छे से कर लूंगा, तो उससे आपको हेल्प नहीं मिलेगा, आपका नेक्स्ट डे बहुत मिजरेबल जाएगा। सो अपनी हेल्थ पे, अपनी स्लीप साइकिल पे और अपनी पॉजिटिविटी पे बहुत ज्यादा आपको फोकस करना है। और बाकी अपने पिछले 2 साल पे ट्रस्ट करो, 2 इयर्स का जो प्रिपरेशन है उस पे ट्रस्ट करो, एवरीथिंग विल बी गुड, एंड ऑल द वेरी बेस्ट बच्चों। I know you will be doing really, really well in 2022 exam.
Absolutely. I totally agree to that. And some of you were asking about the next webinar. So we have the last session before you sit for NEET. We have the revision tips session on 13th of July. I will share the link on LinkedIn probably by tomorrow. So just click on that link, register, right? And about the other 2 sessions, we'll be uploading it soon on YouTube. So you have time to like go back, and I know some of you were part of those sessions also. So we'll upload them on YouTube, and you can like go back and just have a look, for the final time. And I'm glad to see that the session was useful to all of you, and we could try and reach out to all your doubts and queries. No, Subha, it's a common session for NEET 2022, not just for physics. It's a common revisional session where the faculty would be sharing like all the quick tips and tricks before you sit for the exam. Okay, so just a prep session, just a reminder session, nothing else, because it's time that you are just prepared and focus on your exams. So we'll not discuss too much on subject wise. Okay, we'll just go for a last revision thing. And I'm glad to see that the session was useful. Please make good use of all these platforms. These videos will be there, so just go back and listen, and if that works for you, nothing great than that. And I wish all the best to all of you. Okay, all the very best for NEET, and I'm sure you're gonna be very, very successful in the exams. And do not panic, do not stress. Okay, all the best, and be very, very confident. We'll definitely will come up. Shiksha is there to guide you. If there is anything else, you can always drop us an email or reach out to us on our website, right? We will help you get connected with whatever help you require. All right, thank you, ma'am. Thank you so very much.
Thank you, Bhagyashri. Thank you so much for this wonderful session and wonderful interaction with the wonderful kids.
Absolutely, it was a pleasure hosting you, and I think all the students loved the session, and I think the feedback shows that yes, they're happy with the session, they got their answers. So thank you so very much, and all the students, thank you so very much for being part of the session. We'll be there with more webinars coming up. All right, thank you so much, and have a great evening.
Don't forget to like, share and subscribe our YouTube channel.